He's done 66 catches, and he can also play wildcat quarterback for you as well.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. From the 44, Ryan, and finding the tight end Hooper. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016. If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699. They'll run here with Freeman. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Ryan. Caught by Jones. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, puts you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. From 4 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. That was quite the call down around the goal line on 4th and goal.
Yeah, they fake the run, pull it out, throw it, and as a defense, I've been in that spot before, and we see it all the time. You almost have to overcommit against the run. You have to almost sell out and say, they're going to run it, go make a play. They got fooled on that one.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense at Summit.
Agreed. What you were looking for is a defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business. And
that he's into the clear. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Mike Gesicki, 75 yards. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's hauled in by Hardy.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. He'll return it from the 6. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the 1st half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Fitzpatrick. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami 1st.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
The 1st down throw for Fitzpatrick. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, but now it'll be 3rd down. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
He's just not at his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not 2. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On the draw, this is Smith, and the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Dolphins will start their drive at the 20-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Now, the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the 2nd quarter.
And a lot of that is pride because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
And he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again, Fitzpatrick. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because that incompletion's on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
He's got his man. It's Butler. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Check, check 55 to Mike. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
1st down, Fitzpatrick. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Jakeem Grant, 26 yards. And the Dolphins advantage. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Jakeem Grant. Touchdown, Dolphins.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 21-7. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And the tight end, Luke Stocker, was the target, and it's 3rd and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Schaub. Throw left side complete. It's Gray. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Now Schaub. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and throw them on the field.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You can fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Fitzpatrick. This is Butler making the catch. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. It is back to football for 22 teams here on this Thursday night, minus the Broncos and Falcons who played last week. And we want to remind you that we are now 28 days away from the opener of the 100th season of NFL football. The Packers and the Bears at Soldier Field. In our game, most of the starters have made their cameo and departed, but plenty of youngsters out there with a lot to gain or lose as we get you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll drop the throw. It's caught. Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. And not quite sure what just happened there, other than we do know that he spiked the football on 1st down.
50. 180. Here we go. Right. He's done right.
Throwing on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick flush to his right. He'll run it. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 13-yard line.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
On 2nd down, Fitzpatrick again. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. This is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Yeah, here now come the Falcons. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the counter, it's Smith. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fielded just inside the 30. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The catches like that, that's what the Dolphins envisioned when they took Gesicki high in the 2nd round a season ago. He did have 22 catches as a rookie, but did not find the end zone. Certainly feels more comfortable wearing number 88, his old college number, after sporting 86 as a rookie. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Mike Gesicki, 34 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup, and that'll do it for the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Look.
Secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He completes this to Russell Gage. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st? Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Schaub now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Looking to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. From 10 yards out. And the Falcons cut into that lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Bryce Butler. 48 yards. But the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Sanders now to add the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Elsewhere, Ford Field, they're into the 4th quarter now. And the Lions have now taken the lead in that ball game. A win would be their first of the young season. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided.
Okay, double up. Go.
Fitzpatrick here to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Fitzpatrick. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this one way out just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But to be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that? The process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
Throwing again on second down. Fitzpatrick. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Fitzpatrick again. And he comes back with one complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 30. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.
Fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter.
Once you're ready, go ahead and select Advance Week to get to your next game.
Randy Moss, yeah, my numbers going up. All these trophies, what do I need any more for? Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jay Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to another city, it's a touchdown. Underlay, yeah, I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down, but we got up now. You say that you ballin', keep it real though. Hey, why I never saw you in the field though? Hey, I make it look easy, it's a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like that. It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma